Welcome to I'm From the Internet, a podcast about somethingawful.com, the goons, and their consequences. I am punished comedian Winslow Domain, sitting here with internet historian Jaybrandstetter, and we also have special guest from 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, Brian and Jason. Where we left off, Boll makes terrible movies, treats people terrible, but because of a German tax loophole, consistently makes money making the worst shit you've ever seen, and is, despite being a, widely reviled laughingstock of his medium, is still doing pretty fucking great. And then we have arrived at his largest and most illustrious stunt, 2006's event, Raging Boll.
Oh, yes.
Take it away, Jay.
Fantastic, yeah. So I have the press release from this. I've edited it down, but the press release, Boll challenges his critics to, quote, put up or shut up. Boll invites his top 5 most outspoken critics of 2005 to appear in his feature film, Postal. I had this down because there's a lot of self-promotion in it. There we go. Airfare and hotel expenses to Vancouver will be paid by Boll's production company for these critics to be in Postal. It's issued on June 12, 2006 from Vancouver, British Columbia. Dr. Boll has had enough. Is now challenging the critics that failed to watch his films prior to reviewing or commenting to put up or shut up. Towards the end of the filming of the Postal, the 5 most, again, also this is copied word for word, so there are some formatting and spelling errors, even in this press release. The 5 most outspoken critics will be flown into Vancouver and supplied with hotel rooms. As a guest of Boll, they will be given the chance to be an extra/stand-in in Postal and have the opportunity to put on boxing gloves and enter a, all quotes, boxing ring to fight Boll. Each critic will have the opportunity to bring down in a 10-bout match. There will be 5 matches planned over the last 2 days of the movie. Certain scenes from these boxing matches will become part of the Postal movie. All 5 fights will be televised on the internet and will be covered by international press. Right off the bat, so we televised over the internet because we hadn't come up with the term streaming yet is very, very dating this perfectly.
Of the time, yeah, for sure. And he does say 10-bout match. It's 10-round bout. So let's get that.
I don't know enough about boxing to criticize that.
Oh, that's what we call it in Germany.
That is a lot of punching that I don't want to be involved in.
Yes, we step into the belt and we do the Zaspastung.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here trying to think, when's the last time I got punched in the face?
I was having the same thought during the break. Like, what was the last time y'all got punched? I feel like that's a good lead into what we're kind of talking about. I've already talked about in the pod. Yeah, earlier this year I got punched by a door-to-door energy scammer when I kind of chased him away filming him. So I've already told the story about that before. Yeah, because
I had one of those guys come to my house. I chased him off with a wine bottle. I was ready to throw down.
No, for me, it was extra fun because I live with Fred and his family, and they're all in wheelchairs. Like, this nice old lady in a wheelchair answers the door. This guy thinks he's got a nice tail, and then I just come, out of the shadows behind her, being like, what's this guy doing here?
No, this is a coal house.
Right.
Yeah. Barring, mosh pit violence, God, I haven't been punched in so long. I can't remember the last time I've been in a fight proper. I used to scrap a lot when I was a kid, but it's been long. It's been a long time since I can't remember the last time a grown man has punched me in the head. I've definitely been punched a lot by women, but that's just because I've dated the wrong women a few times.
A series of poor choices. Yeah, they'll do it.
Yeah, series of poor choices. None of those were deserved. They were just those are bad times. Bad times for Uncle W.
I think the last time
I got punched, I've been threatened a few times. I have this really great way about me that I'm a huge pain in the ass, but when people do have this moment when they decide if they want to square up with me or not, that oh man, this is going to be really annoying, isn't it? I'm just going to walk away.
Brian is like the birthday boy meme where he's just like, I'm just a little guy.
A little bit. I am. It's just. I think it's there's been times where people have tried to mug me, and I'm like, "Come on, man," and they're like, "Fuck!" They look at me like, "Yeah, I could mug this guy. Is it really going to be worth it?" It's the story of the last 2 Jewish guys that were in Afghanistan, and at one point, the Taliban was just all right, we're kind of tired of having you in jail. We're just going to let you guys go.
We're just tired of you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have the bonus of I am a younger brother, so my fighting style is what I would describe as like obnoxious attrition, where it's just really annoying to fight me because I just kind of wrap myself around you and take you down with me. I don't care. I want us both to lose.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened the last time I got punched, and that was like 1999. I think I can trace it right back to that. It was like the summer before I started college. A bunch of high school friends were having some shitty house party after a big wig show at the Creepy Crawl. It was a shitty punk venue, and we were all kind of buzzed already. And this guy Tony is like, "Hey, you want to fight?" I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "I don't know. I'm bored." I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's do it." So completely out of boredom in the front yard of this dude's house in like suburban St. Louis. That was the last time I got punched. And it wasn't even a good punch. It was like he hit me in the ribs once, and then we like grappled until like, it's fine. Fight's over, whatever. Doesn't really count.
Sometimes he's gotta be scrappy, man. You gotta tussle with the boys.
That was the last time. I don't think I've tussled with the boys since then. Maybe that's what I'm missing in my life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of tussling,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm like actually sitting here and I'm trying to think, when's the last time like I punched someone or someone punched me. I really can't, and it's really weird because like I was definitely a scrapper as a teenager. Like I am someone like as an adult like can tell like how someone runs their mouth. Like, oh, you've never been like in a real fist fight before. You never had like a situation where someone like had your face press up against like a brick wall and was like scraping your cheek against the texture, and you could feel like your skin tearing up. Like, oh, you've never really been in the shit.
Yeah, you've never been in a proper fight. Like, you can tell some people.
I did hit a kid in community service so hard that he lost vision in his left eye, but we covered that in the Canaan episode. Anyways,
just gonna drop that with no. Okay, all right.
Uva's gonna start punching people. Take it away, Jay.
Yeah. To be eligible, you must be a critic who has posted on the internet or have written in magazines/newspapers at least 2 extremely negative articles in the year 2005. Critics of 2006 will not be considered. Please submit proof of your negative reviews and comments via email. You will not be paid or entitled to any residuals or fees. Your transportation and hotel costs will be covered. Dr. Uwe Boll's invitation to fight and or appear in his film is extended to all his harshest critics. Roger Avery and Quentin Tarantino are among the most eligible candidates.
Okay.
God, what I would give to see Quentin Tarantino knocked on his fucking ass. Then they would just get up by shaking each other's hands and saying the N-word at the same time.
Okay. What you gotta understand is, okay, I'm gonna beat your ass. Okay.
You ever seen Raging Bull? Yeah. All right. Now, you see the way they frame that camera in the movie? It's all about moxie. Now, let me tell you, I got moxie. I might not look like it, but...
Yeah, he's like the most mouthy fighter you've ever heard.
And Roger Avery, do you recognize why he's calling Roger Avery out?
I know Tex Avery. I don't know
Roger Avery is a friend of Tarantino's, produced a bunch of his films, right?
He's a writer. He actually he wrote the Silent Hill movie, which is part of why he has a grudge, because he trash talk Uwe Boll when he talked. Basically, it's like the Silent Hill isn't going to be an Uwe Boll movie. I've played the games. I'm a fan, and also Tarantino had trash talked him before, which is why he called them out by name. So yeah. Also, another reason why none of you have really heard much about Roger Avery is because in 2008, he got in a drunk driving accident and killed someone. He wrapped his car around a telephone pole over 100 miles an hour. So he's been in movie jail pretty much ever since. Now he's just a podcast guy. He was on Joe Rogan and he blamed January 6th on Antifa.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I watched it live. There was this Antifa guy waving people in. Just like,
all right, man.
This guy.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's all the evidence I need.
The shame of Manitoba is what they call him.
Yeah, in much more fun, I'm going to continue this last part. The following posters on the IMDb have earned the right to be placed on the list of the most extreme anti-Boll critics and are therefore eligible to enter the contest. Contestants will be chosen to be an extra and physically box Dr. Uwe Boll. So he is just calling randos on IMDb out by name. He is that mad at them.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to read this list.
Yeah, let's hear some of those radio pipes delivering some of these names. It's going to be these are very they deserve some reverence. Yeah,
okay, I'll take the first 4. And then Brian, Jason, you can clean up after me. Headhunter 004. Adult Swim Lover 2. Evolution _500 _2. Great Nates.
The Doomsday Begins. Gunnery Sergeant Numbnuts. Murdoch 995. Amy Brooks.
Chinese Old Market Man. Gabe Logan 9060. V with 2 E's. Dragon 40. Big Sexy 77. Tyler Durden 52.
Dan 223-1. And Howdy 4641430-1.
Is that Howdy's prison number?
I want to see that name on the marquee.
Yeah. No, I'm imagining him like
Kids
cutting
holding up signs.
Yeah, cutting like an 80s wrestling promo, like Cocaine Fuel, but him being like, I'm calling you out, Howdy 4641430, like Samoa Joe doing math or whatever.
Listen here, Gunnery Sergeant Numbnuts.
Market man, I've been listening to your bullshit for too long.
That's right.
Oh yeah. You don't look so great to me, Nate. Yeah. Yeah, and so in the end, if critics want to bring Uwe Boll down, here is their chance to physically bring him down and have the entire world watch them do it. So he puts this call out, and then 8 days later, we have a front page article on Something Awful. Uwe Boll Wants Me Alone in the Dark by Rich Lowtax Kayanka on Tuesday, June 20th, 2006. So this is where Lowtax enters the picture. I can read his because it's a little long. I go, while I may have withheld my personal distaste for Uwe Boll in the past, various Something Awful writers have not, various Something Awful producers have not. Producing a feature which Mr. Dr. Boll contacted me about early last year. He somehow, for some reason, emailed me and offered to personally fly me up to Vancouver so I could watch him edit Blood Rain, an event which would somehow, for some reason, suddenly make me think his movies did not belong in an official NASA probe headed directly for the sun. Unfortunately, my wife chose that time frame to give birth to our daughter, so I politely declined. Besides, I knew watching a small human being crawl out of my wife's vagina would be infinitely less horrifying than personally witnessing the grotesque mistake Ben Kingsley stumbled into. Yeah. And continuing. So I decided to give it a shot. I sent Mr. Boll an email asking him if his offer still stood. Would he still fly me up to participate in one of his unintentionally horrific non-horror films, this time with the lure of physically kicking the snot out of me on film? Well, folks, I'm proud to say that the answer is yes. Mr. Dr. Senor Boll replied and added me to the list of folks he plans on beating up because we talked bad about him on the internet. In exchange for this incredible privilege, I promised Dr. Mrs. Boll, PhD, that I would actually sit down and review his films Alone in the Dark and House of the Dead, so people would know I'm completely serious about hating this man and letting him punch me in the face until he decides to stop. Without further ado, I present to you my belated Alone in the Dark review, part 1 of a 2-part series which will solidify my concrete standing on Uwe's internet shit list. And then, in all caps, Alone in the Dark, a movie by a stupid German jerk who is stupid and smells and probably molests dead children, although if that last part is considered slander and or libel in Canada, then just disregard it and pretend it actually said he molests living children instead. So, this is him sort of rising to the occasion.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you don't realize how much your life is about to change.
Yeah.
Even if this doesn't, like, impact the rest of your life, I think that if any one of us was offered to fight any German, you know what I mean? And we were just, like, goofing around, and we accepted it, and we flew out there, I think that it's joke. We're having fun, goofing around, hee. And then the moment that man's fist connects with your stupid fucking mouth, you reconsider all the choices that you've made.
Essentially.
Because he's just goofing around here.
Well, I mean, look,
it's brutal.
Rich Kanka was no stranger to pissing people off. This was kind of his whole deal. And so, like,
it's just that this time it had consequences.
Yeah, like he specifically did not qualify, but he was like, hey, I want to do this anyways. And Uwe was like, oh, yes, I will make an exception for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that Uwe Boll hits harder than a wife.
Ooh. Get him.
Oh, boy.
Not the first time we're going to be seeing references to that in this. So, yeah.
Good joke. Go nuts. Fuck.
You'd think that Rich Kayanka would have a better swing, considering that he had a lot of practice with his live-in partner.
Hey-oh.
Jesus Christ.
It gets worse, folks.
He said it, not me. I just laughed at the first one because it implied a woman punching Lowtax.
That would have been an improvement of the situation, is all we're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but that is worth reinforcing that Lowtax specifically asked for this. This was something he actively opted into. So
yeah, he called it out.
We now go on to
it's not like he got knockout gained by Uwe Boll.
Walked right into it on purpose.
It just takes me. We talked about it at one point in time, one of the episodes about during the Me Too era. I cannot fucking remember which director it was, but he wasn't currently being Me Too'd. And I think, Jay, you might know who I'm talking about, because he released this statement where he was just like, I'm reading all these really moving pieces by these women who have been subjected to all of this abuse, and the men in Hollywood that have done it to them. And gosh, I just feel like so unnerved because I find myself really relating to the men because I would have done it too. And I just remember reading that and being like, dog, you didn't have to include yourself in this. Why?
Just
fuck.
I don't remember who
it's
that
like
was.
Throwing yourself on a grenade that's nowhere near anyone that would get hurt. You're just like, you
pulled the pin out of that
put yourself
grenade.
in the way. Fuck.
Yeah, just like a real unforced error. There was a wrestling had its own thing in the I want to say like 2019 or 2020. Yeah, it was June 2020, and there was a wrestler for Jack Gallagher. Who was a WWE wrestler who just kind of like out of nowhere, I was just like, yeah, I've done some creep shit. And everyone was like, man, you didn't. Okay. Like, yeah. And then he has since, like, I think pretty much disappeared. And, it was there were more than a few wrestlers that had enough heinous stories getting passed around. Joey Ryan being one of them that was like, yeah, you kind of, no one was really looking at you, bro.
Yeah. You brought this on yourself.
There was like no story to get out ahead of. Not saying that like you shouldn't get like a comeuppance for your transgressions, but you kind of you definitely walked on the rake, bro.
Yeah, you grabbed the cartoon shotgun and said "duck season fire." Like nobody made you do this.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's completely unnecessary.
Rich Kiyonko, sadly, will do that multiple times throughout his life.
Yeah, I do appreciate they did go with like a video game theme for the promos. Like they made it look like a title screen, Raging Bull, Knockout, a little fake title screen. And this is where we get the stats for his 4 challengers. Ultimately, he chose 4 instead of 5. They didn't have enough qualifiers, so we'll learn more about the qualification process later. So I'll put a pin in that. But yeah, here we go. So with some very video toaster-ass graphic design here. Yeah, we got. So first off, Richard Lowtax Kyanka. Weighs 155 pounds, height 6 foot 1 inches, age 30, position webmaster / CEO for Something Awful. So that's the guy we're here for.
155 pounds.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. We're going to see more of him.
I've literally owned dogs that weighed more than Lowtax. I need you to understand. I had a Borzoi that was like 160 pounds at his biggest. Unbelievable. Like, it's so funny to me that he's the focus of this whole thing. And I don't know why it's weird to me that we have a podcast about his website. We've done so many episodes about just tiny glimpses into this man's life. And I could easily throw Lowtax up a flight of stairs. Like, he weighs nothing. Why is that? At least give him like a 2 in front of that. Like, that's insane.
He doesn't look it either. That's the thing. Like, even at his trimmest, I don't think he looked 155 pounds. That's what I think really gets me. Because I've seen GoonCon footage. I've seen some images of him over the years, and like, no, there's no fucking way. No, he's 180. He's 180 on a good day.
It's so funny. And okay, who else we have? Chris Alexander, 180, fine, 5'11", sure. He's a journalist, radio announcer for Rue Morgue Magazine, Rue Morgue Radio. Jeff Snyder, 170, 5'9", age 22, journalist for Ain't It Cool. Okay. And then Nelson Chance Minter, 155, 5'7", age 17. Ooh. What?
Yep.
Website poster and bull hater.
Yeah, this isn't even a
He's
critic.
Boxing
it's just
a 17-year-old?
It's just a high schooler who posted mean comments online and was like, fuck yeah, I'll fight this guy. I'm a teenager. I'm invincible.
That kid fucking rocks, dude. I hope we have some docs on this kid. Holy shit.
Yeah, I will say that I do have some fun updates about almost everyone here. Nelson, there's not much about him after this fight, so he does get some fun showtime during the fight itself.
That's fucking great. Jesus Christ.
Yes, there we go. And I went through the old threads and dug up some pictures of the event. So here's our lineup. There's the four of them right there. Chris Alexander is the one in the shades and in the wearing red. Nelson is the shortest one. And then the Ain't Cool News guys there on the left. And then there is Lowtax, very much doing like a Rocky IV thing with his American flag getup.
Yes, I see.
So do we know, I'm seeing a lot of lights in the background there. How many people were at this event?
This wasn't a huge crowd. It looked like there was like a couple rows of people. Online, the streaming numbers were a couple thousand people tuned into stream. So this wasn't huge. I think this was more like to have an event, like a place to do it at. And then like in the crowd, about 50 goons showed up to be the cheering section. So there was like, a good chunk of people were there to support Lowtax.
Fuck. That's so funny. God, I really wish Elon and Zuckerberg fought. That
also,
would have been amazing.
The 17-year-old, his mom was there.
Fucking A. Dude, there's so many problems with this. Oh my God. This is the most I've been surprised by this podcast in a while. Since the episode where you revealed the secret chapter of your fucking life. That was a Patreon, which you should support for $1 a month.
Yeah, there he is with his mom, who is taller than him.
Oh my God, he is the most 17. Oh my God, that's just 3 more years added on top of the freaky kid from the first Toy Story movie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sid? Yeah. Was it Sid?
His mom was so nice.
He's just a twerp. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, also, just so for a nice little memory flashback, this was streamed live over the internet via Windows Media Player. This was what it looked like.
They had a streaming portion?
It was pay-per-view, but there was a pirate stream very quickly. So this was what pay-per-view streaming quality was like at this time. He paid $5 for this.
Awesome. Fucking A.
The chunky Windows XP windows. Yeah, you had to play this in Windows Media Player. They used one of those like weird proprietary streaming things where you had to use Windows Media Player.
That's so funny, because when I think of streaming, I think of difficult and like poorly delivered, especially at this time period, especially for pay-per-view. And then I think like take all of that and put it into a thresher through Windows Media Player, one of like the most dog-ass media players they ever made. That sounds like a nightmare. It's like you can only stream it on your Zune.
Yeah, since the show is ostensibly about what the old internet felt like, I think that is a big part, like a very underrated part of like why YouTube blew up. It was very hard to just like, if you tried to play a video online, it was a huge pain in the ass. You have to like load it, pause it, let it buffer a little. Usually be a loading bar. With YouTube, you just pulled up and it would just play immediately because they did such a good job compressing it into a Flash file. Like just loading up a video and it worked. If anything, we have the opposite problem. Now we can't get stuff to stop playing videos for us.
Right. I was saying like Real Player. Like you had to get the Real Player plug-in, and then that stuttered so much that it became a joke on Something Awful's Flash Tub, the gaming guys. And so like it's it was a known quantity that internet video sucked ass. Like you could not get anything good to happen. There's no surprise to me that it was Windows Media Player, because like that was kind of the high watermark of shit. you want to talk about bad?
Fitting for Boll.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about bad. Jesus wept.
Yeah. And there's a pretty good why somebody would agree to sign up to get beat up, basically. One of the quotes here it's bad for my health, but it's a free trip to Vancouver. So it's the same effect as the actor. It's like, well, I'm getting a free vacation out of this. I don't really have any pride, so why not? And that guy is Jeff Snyder from Ain't It Cool News. And this was kind of a career peak for him. It was fun to see what happens. It's like after this, he got fired from Variety because there was a bunch of behind the scenes drama about him being unprofessional. Like one of the examples was like another writer got an exclusive about the movie Interstellar. So he tweeted, "Gonna go drive my car into a tree. My blood will be on Hollywood's hands. Make sure a cool celebrity gives me my eulogy. Farewell, cruel world." And they were like, dude. "Buddy, you're a professional journalist. You can't tweet like this."
Can't.
I mean, I don't hate the tweet. I I think it's troubling when it's so clearly not serious, but I don't know. I do like that his career peak included 1 favorite and 4 retweets. So.
Tragic. That's what that is.
Yeah, and then 2016, having already been fired for his tweets once before, he got fired because he did an article about Oscars so white that people got mad at. And that, after he got fired from that, he's just been kind of bouncing around. Like most recently, he had a thing where he got a bunch of trouble because he spread a fake rumor about Johnny Depp working with Sydney Sweeney.
Jesus.
And then just like then when she denied it, he's like a non-denial to her denying it. And then after they had to do a press release, he's like, after ignoring calls on Friday, her reps sure are working overtime on a holiday weekend. They said I created a mess. Well, guess what? Totally fake stories don't create messes. Real stories do. Sorry I ruined the big cons announcement. Maybe call back next time. Just like
Jesus,
being just a twerp about movie gossip.
Yeah, I do have to say that picture of Johnny Depp where he's tenting his fingers together, he's just like
real Andre
such a greasy little
shit.
bug man.
Yeah, he looks like Steven Seagal is gonna beat him up. Like,
yeah, he's just he looks like he bathes in his own secretions. It's very funny that there's people on my Facebook who will like post like an AI generated Johnny Depp vampire picture and say it's from the new Netflix Castlevania series. And I'm just like, 1, this is AI. 2, no, they're not. 3, why are you posting this even if it were real?
Yeah, because it looks like shit.
And it's so funny that like to everybody here and to anybody on the internet for the past 5 years, we have been around for the insanity that was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And there's so many people who are just like, oh, Johnny Depp, he's the pirate guy. Yeah, I like him. That's the rest of the world. We're just the people on the internet. Nobody else fucking knows about it.
Also, just to really drive home this guy's scumminess, he's very much a cancel culture has gone too far guy. Like he wrote an essay like when Ed Piskor committed suicide, he wrote an article about him being murdered by internet bullies. Woo! One of the quotes here, Ed Piskor said one woman accused him of quote grooming her when she was 17 years old, though they never actually met. Like stuff like that. Like
wow,
yeah, Saru. I'm glad this guy got punched.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of a preview of the Ain't It Cool News episode. It's going to be a lot of scummy guys in that.
Oh, not the least of which the site owner.
Oh, yeah. Buddy.
Oh, yeah. And also a lot of those people wound up in Alamo Draft House, so like it's like they're still getting work. It's going to be fun to go over that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Ain't It Cool News a while ago, and it was eye-opening, to say the least.
Oh, very.
Let Mortal Kombat begin.
A handful of people on a leaky boat are going to save the world. Exactly.
There you go. I found a screenshot of the day the fight happened. This is general bullshit on September 24th, 2006.
Of course it's GBS.
Blurry, you know?
Of course it's GBS.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Lowtax fight interview videos. Lowtax versus Boll fight on Saturday, right at the top. Filling a pin sticky about archives access issues, which is my radium.
Search is never coming back.
No, search is broken forever.
Yeah.
Who cares if you pay for platinum? You're not getting search back. Whatever.
I'm amazed that, like, with everything we know about how websites are coded now, and we know how Something Awful works to a degree, that search still doesn't work. I was in high school.
It's because Jeffrey from Yoast Post is still taking a nap.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember struggling to search for shit in my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I'm 34. Like, how is this still a problem?
I'm 44 and I still remember like the same problem. It's ridiculous. Anyway, search is broken. Jesus Christ. It's the same problem. It's always the same problem. And Jeffrey, he's too sleepy. He's got to go take a nap again.
So when I was watching the documentary, there was actually a documentary about this fight, Raging Boll from 2010. It's on YouTube for free. It's not very good though. So I can't recommend it, but I did watch it. You get some very fun clips of Lowtax. Here's one where it's them sort of talking and prepping up, and he's just repeatedly punching himself in the dick to test his cup while the other people are psyching themselves up. Like, oh, point, the guy next to him stops and goes like, "What are you doing?" Because he just keeps doing it. Like, He's just being very silly.
Seems very Richard coded.
He's very much doing it for attention, and he's around people who are like, these are internet dickheads, and a 17-year-old. And he's somehow the biggest internet dickhead of them all. Ignore that. There's just shit falling apart over here. But yeah, he's just like an internet man-child punching himself in the dick until people notice him.
Seems about right. Yeah, that's very Richard coded.
Yeah, and also, like I mentioned earlier, there were over 50 goons in attendance. One of the funny details I found was when Uwe boxed the 17-year-olds, the goon chant they had was, "Come on, Boll, be a man and beat up that child." Like they were having fun with it. Yeah. I also got some good. One very fun quote with Lowtax is when they're doing the pre-interview type. He goes, "We got no training. We don't know how boxing works," and he does the air quotes with his fingers when he says that. So for they're being like, "Yeah, we don't really know what we're getting into here."
I just like that it was shot on the worst available cameras.
Yeah,
the whole thing was just shot on a fucking flip phone.
Yeah, it's like prosumer digital, right? Not
Yeah.
Also, another very funny detail is the pre-show is they had like some local karate kids come down and do board breaking and stuff. And they were from the Cobra Kai dojo. That's not a joke. There is a literal Cobra Kai dojo in Vancouver. Someone was like, let's name our dojo after the bad guys in the Karate Kid. That's the message we want to send. We will break your child's legs.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking great, dude. Like, it's just so funny how no matter what the media, the writing is, the world just will take the wrong lesson. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh well, we're gonna start a little gym called Uruk-hai, and we're gonna have orcs. Make yourself into one of the orcs from the movies, and it's like, no, that sounds bad. I don't want to be the bad guy.
There's some restaurant will have like, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a product called Soylent.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That's not a good thing.
Right. Jesus Christ, guys.
I think a fun version that I had was when I went to high school. I was friends with a girl who took Christian karate because she had like a religious family. So it's regular karate, except like the red belt represents the blood of Jesus, like that type of thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, they love doing that shit.
So that Peter Jackson movie, Dead Alive? Oh, fuck.
The I Kick
Ass for Lord. Thank you. That's what I was trying to remember.
Okay, yeah. So now the moment we were waiting for, the actual fight.
Yes.
So I have a video of it. I'm going to stop the stream here so I can pull it up again in a more video-friendly form, and then we can all watch it together, like, and react to it.
All right,
so,
let's do it.
Here we go, and this is from the actual stream the night it occurred. So it's like we're back in 2006.
Of course, it's sponsored by GoldenPalace.com.
Here we go.
Of course, they sponsored every dump. I could probably do an episode about them in the future. They did so much bullshit.
Yeah.
Lowtax is moving the fuck around.
Nope.
Oh no, he's getting hit. Jesus.
Yeah, like he seems to be trying to do it for laughs, and then Uwe just immediately hones in on him and punches him.
I mean, it's the Mike Tyson quote: "Is everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." And Jesus, yeah, he's really experiencing the shock of having a German man just rock you in the fucking face.
Down again.
And
I'm a little concerned for Richard Kayanka right now. Uwe looks determined to do this.
You're just watching like a rhinoceros fight a wacky inflatable tube arm man.
He is not joking around, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Lowtax Kayanka seems to be dancing around like this is some sort of joke.
Oh, he's just against
on the other hand, very serious, throwing some seriously
He's just
shots.
cornering. He's just getting him into the corner.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with.
I will say that Lowtax keeps getting up, and then now he's running around throwing his arms up, and
down again.
And then he throws his arms up in celebration. And
he does like a Kermit run. Just like,
you're not going to win any fans
punched in the fucking head and just knocked fully on his head.
He's on the ropes for a good while. Look at that.
Uwe has a very sassy slant to his shoulders now.
Oh, yeah, he's just...
Well, it's because this is not work for him.
He's up. Is he ready to fight? He's going to fight some more.
Each of these punches is just like knocking out entire forum posts out of his memory.
Down like a sack of potatoes down his
there's a big right hand.
Yeah, exactly. Just knocked
Well, what's impressive too is that Uwe is not wearing headgear, whereas Richard is.
Well, he doesn't need to. He's got a quarter-inch of steel.
Yeah, all the critics have headgear on. He is nothing on his head. He's like not worried about getting hit at all.
And he doesn't.
He just goes over to him and gives him a pat on the back.
Uwe Boll, you're
and he just gets. Oh fuck!
And then fakes the big pratfall. Richard does, and then his corner man's trying to give him a little wipe down, but the fight's over.
Yeah, he taps out here. Yeah. So he goes, and he's just like, well, later.
Yep. Yep. And he still has his arms up, like, good. Yep, I did it. You didn't do anything.
He survived.
What I like is that you can kind of tell that. How do I put it? At no point in time did he think that fighting back was really a possibility. He seems to just be like, the accomplishment is to simply get into the ring and receive the punches. You know?
And he acquits himself very well for the 2 minutes and some change that he's in there. Sure.
Right.
It doesn't look good, though. It's very bad.
Rough. Yeah, I've seen nicer videos on Live Leak.
Run the gauntlet,
Yeah. This is a good time. I might look like a backyard wrestler, but I don't really actually know that much about like boxing and wrestling and stuff, so I can't really give like color commentary on the fight. But yeah, that was just watching a man get beat up.
Well, because again, Uwe Boll, clearly the better fighter amongst pretty much everyone, and he's coming in there. He's going in these big. If you're a faster boxer, if you're somebody who studies the sweet science, you might be able to like get out of the way of some of these hits, but somebody who doesn't know anything about this is just going to get rocked over and over again, and it's exactly what happened. We could have predicted this from the jump. This is exactly what's going to happen. Uwe Boll is going to rock your ass. Not that Uwe Boll himself is a good fighter, but just like he's someone who has actually fought before, whereas these guys are all like, and then that.
Like you don't even necessarily need to be that strong. There is like a strategy to how you do this that like can give you certain, unquantifiable percentages, I guess, over the strength of somebody who is not trained. Where like, a properly trained featherweight could be a 150-pound man. Probably not fighting Uwe Boll, who's probably 200 pounds.
Part of it is also not getting hit.
Technique.
Yeah, part of it's not.
Yeah, because fucking. Yeah, don't get hit, and also like look at every like kung fu movie. Those dudes aren't like big beefy fucks. They're little scrappy guys. That's the whole idea.
Right. You watch any Jackie Chan movie, he don't want no trouble, but he is gonna turn around and get you.
Yeah, Jesus, what a fight.
Like, I didn't explicitly spell it, but the thing about Uwe is that he's been a lifelong amateur boxer. Like, that's why he looks all punched up when he's young and why he's reading boxing magazines on the set. Like, he's someone who knows boxing and is like decent at it. It's like, going up to somebody who's never boxed before and is just like kind of doing this as a goof is definitely, then nobody here stood a chance. Like, at the same time, though, it is very much like you knew what you were signing up for. What did you expect?
It's no secret this guy knows his stuff. He's been around. He's been around the block.
Yeah, like we had pictures on the internet, and you could see what he looked like. Yeah, I got this really good ringside picture from one of the goons who met like the moment he hit the floor here, just down and out there.
Yeah, that is a pretty beautiful photo with the action shot in the foreground of the boot walking away.
Yeah,
Lowtax completely knocked on his ass.
Yeah, and there's a Golden Palace banner and a guy wearing a Golden Palace shirt behind him.
Picture perfect, dude.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and actually dug up the thread from when this happened. All these posts were made in the same minute after literal hours of waiting for this thing. Just like, y'all want to go through these?
Lowtax is down 3 times. Very concerned, frowny face.
Holy shit, that frame had Lowtax in the air. Very concerned, frowny face.
Oh no, Lowtax!
No. Lowtax! Lowtax down again!
No!
Mangosteen down!
Mangosteen down.
I haven't been this disappointed since I found out wrestling was scripted.
How is he going to pay for all that gold belly now? All right.
God, yeah. And one of the things is after the thing he got interviewed, and his interview had some fun parts. Like the part where the lady asks him, "How does that feel to be punched in the head?" He responds, "I can show you. Do you want to see?" Which has not aged well.
Oh boy!
God damn! Jesus.
Hopefully, he was referring to like a wound he sustained.
Yeah, look at that grin he has as he says it.
But this sounds menacing now.
Yeah.
Benefit of hindsight.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. When she asks him how he's doing, he says, "I'm probably going to lay in bed until I die."
Again.
Yeah. Well, oddly prescient.
Yeah. He definitely did something until he died.
Well, he did a lot of laying down on benzos until he died, for sure.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Also, this is this incredibly cursed photo of him, like if he was in like a Francis Bacon painting.
Yes,
that's great.
Paired with the post, even Rocky lost his first fight, guys.
Oh man,
jeez.
So what I'm looking at here is a dark photo where the flash somehow didn't reach Lowtax. It just kind of illuminated a guy somewhat in the foreground, but it is an inky darkness with like a few like lights like candles in the furthest background, but in the midground there is Lowtax in his little America gear, like kind of disintegrating into the dark because of how dark the photo is. It's very ominous of just like how dark it is and how you can definitely see this figure standing there. Very
haunted.
Ominous. Very interesting photo. Yes.
Yeah, very cursed. Yeah. And so, I mean, like I mentioned, like he was doing pratfalls and such. So I'll give him credit for that. But I think like the MVP of the fight was Chris Alexander. So first off, before the fight, he's wearing these bat wings around. Like,
hell yeah!
Just to like sort of goof on it. Yeah, and this actually made Uwe Boll mad. He's like, he's not taking the fight seriously. Like it actually got to him. Yeah.
The even Drago thing didn't get to him, but this did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this quote from one of the writers, one of the reasons I really like this guy goes, "Well, on the receiving end of a series of blows to the head, Alexander took Boll aback when a stream of blood spewed from his mouth. It turned out Alexander had taken a page from Boll's filmmaking book. The blood was fake. When he got me in the side of the head, I was like a human pinball," Alexander said. "I had the fake blood in reserve. I spat it out. I freaked him out exactly like I wanted to. It was poetry. It was my Jedi mind trick to try and disorient him." So just the mental image of this guy just completely psyching out Uwe Boll by like having blood in his mouth the whole time, and then just like right when he starts losing.
Sweet
so
Jesus,
good.
yes,
that's so fucking awesome.
That is an old school wrestling trick. Jeez, bite your cheek till you get spit at him.
Yeah, blood capsule or something.
I kind of want somebody to like get those little fart bombs, the stink bombs made out of like sulfur liquid, and just like crush a couple of those up around you, and then just go into the ring stinking of rotten eggs. Make it hard to breathe around your opponent.
I'm with it. I think it's good.
Like the Minnesota Vikings trained in like freezing fucking temperatures, and then intentionally didn't have heating in the in like, you know, the whatever it is, not the dugout box, but they didn't have heating in the player area during the games, so that they're like the other team that did not train in freezing fucking temperatures would be thrown off. And their whole thing was like, we don't need heating. We are Vikings. And I think, I don't like, see what you will about the Vikings. That is a insanely ballsy move. And I do like it when people are like, well, one way that we can win is by going through the most miserable possible way through. I like that.
Feels good. Yeah.
I like that he's spitting blood and shit. That's so fun.
Yeah. No, it was very good. And just, I mean, unsurprisingly, he wound up becoming the editor-in-chief of Fangoria from 2010 to 2015, and is now himself a horror movie director and film score composer, as well as a writer. Like, I got some, like, he's someone who's still around doing stuff. He wrote all these books, he's directed a movie, and he's still rocking that cap. He's doing great. It looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what has he directed?
Delirium.
Yeah, I couldn't really find that much about it. It was just like some small horror movie, but it was like kind of like,
okay.
Just, he only did a couple pretty recently, but yeah, it's more than I've done. Pretty cool.
Because it would be funny if Uwe Boll watched it and was like, "Oh my god, this is really good." I think that would be really fun. I get it now. Oh my god, he stopped bumping into the camera.
Yeah,
you can do multiple takes.
I mean, he did. He did a movie called Female Werewolf, so pretty good.
Yeah,
Werewolf.
Funnily enough, in 2007, he did host a Q&A with Uwe Boll at the film festival Dungeon Seed premiered at. So almost like a rematch.
Jesus, dude.
Why does he look like Doug Walker?
Very.
What does he look like? Was it Nostalgia
Doug
Critic?
Walker, yeah, that's the same guy.
He's dressed like the Nostalgia. Like if the Nostalgia Critic had a bad breakup and went through an emo phase.
Yeah, it's like an emo version of that. He's got crazy sideburns and one of those like military style baseball caps that dudes wore in the early 2000s. Yeah, with a big red scarf. He definitely just looks like he's got some... He's in a relationship with a 16-year-old girl and he's got lyrics written on his arm even though he's 35.
On the forums, like, people were pretty disappointed. Like, that wasn't much of a fight. Like, people were pretty supportive of Lowtax, but in general, people were also pretty disappointed, I feel. At least at first, we'll see, yeah. And so I have a quote from Lowtax here. He said, Uwe said we would get training, boxing equipment, and lessons beforehand. None of us received any of this, which didn't quite worry us at the time since he kept saying it was just a PR stunt and he wasn't really going to box for real, for serious, blah, blah, blah. Never trust a German. 3 of the guys didn't even have cups to protect their balls. The only reason I had a cup was because my wife brought me one. The dude after me was throwing up and had an EMT by his side for about an hour. He eventually had to have an oxygen mask on. The dude after him was all bloodied up and looked like crap. They too made the mistake of believing Uwe Boll when he said it was just a PR thing, since neither really trained.
Jesus.
That's fucking awesome. Isn't Sean Baby like a fucking brick shithouse? Is that correct?
He's an MMA guy.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I will back up Lowtax, since Lowtax does have a history of being very one-sided in his recollections of things. You can literally find videos of the guy, one of the people like puking in the gutter after the fight. Like, yeah, like the 17-year-old, like, yeah, you've never been in a fight before for real, and the adrenaline's pumping. Like, it's gonna fuck you up. Like, yeah,
he's puking because he got a concussion, dude. He's puking because he just received a traumatic brain injury that is going to permanently change his life.
I got CTE from Uwe Boll t-shirt is raising more questions than it answers. Yeah.
I got CTE from Uwe Boll. Would for sure sell among a certain genre of people.
Has Uwe Boll given you brain damage? You may be entitled to compensation.
Yeah. I rode the biomechanical Boll.
And you were literally one step ahead of me here. So yeah, just also to back up him, Sean Baby also sort of backed this up. Sean Baby challenged Uwe Boll, but he declined because Sean Baby is an accomplished Muay Thai kickboxer on top of being an internet funny man. Like, yeah, here's some pictures from the time this was. Like, he did get to meet Uwe Boll eventually, but yeah, he looks like a boss in Final Fight. Like, he's a very tough guy.
Yeah, Sean Baby could kick your ass.
Now,
sure.
I have to
both in comedy and literally.
I have to point out, why are Sean Baby's girlfriend's boobs censored in this Fisher?
I got these off his website. I don't know why there's a mosaic blur over her boobs. Maybe she was self-conscious about it. Maybe it was something that is a joke. I don't know, but that's just what I got. And I don't have the fancy tools to I don't have the AI tools for that.
More importantly, why is Uwe Boll holding his Modelo? Or is that a Modelo or is that a Corona? He's holding a Corona beer so delicately. It's almost like a prop beer that isn't actually full of real liquid because he's holding it like you would like a piece of paper. I don't know why.
He's afraid it's not full of beer. Like maybe it's full of pee.
Right.
Yeah. It's not his beer. He's afraid of drinking.
He's going to crush it. He thinks he's going to crush it because he's so powerful.
I mean, that's how I react when I hold a Corona. I'm just kind of like, this is an okay beer.
He's holding like a bag with a dog turd in it.
Of Uwe Boll crushing a beer bottle against his head, but it still accordions down like he would with a can. He crushes it so hard that it doesn't even break the glass. Yeah,
he does it with a plastic soda bottle. It still breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
And so I've been doing a lot of reading. Would one of you like to read Sean Baby's part, or should I continue?
I would love to read Sean Baby's part.
Go ahead.
As a Sean Baby fan from day one, yeah. Uwe was going to promote his publicity stunt on G4's Attack of the Show by boxing one of the hosts. A producer from the show remembered this and called me asking if I'd come on and fight Uwe. I train in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, so I think boxing is to fighting what Hungry Hungry Hippos is to fighting, but holy crap, I couldn't pass up getting my fist near the mouth that shouted action on the set of House of the Dead. Uwe, learning that he wasn't fighting a midget, asked for my age, height, weight, and fighting experience. I emailed this information along with the reassurance that the Holocaust survivors got together and agreed he was the worst thing to come out of Germany. I figured this would make him mad. I figured this would make him mad enough to ignore that I'm several weight classes above him in F-list celebrity boxing. It didn't. After reading my stats, he suddenly couldn't make it on the show. There was a short discussion of flying me to the set of Postal, but I'm not holding my breath. Uwe is the one making the nerd combat rules, and rule number 1 is, Uwe only hits people who don't explode Uwe's face when they hit back. Woo!
I don't normally like when guys are like cocky about their fighting abilities. Obviously, that's a really stupid and annoying thing. But Sean Baby, this isn't cockiness. This is just knowledge of the violent capacity of his fists.
Yeah, he knows.
This dude could lay Uwe Boll out on the fucking floor, and it's very funny that we've been talking about like individual humans who have some reason fought a space marine, and then the space marine has to fight Horace Lupercal. Like it is an exponential change in the evening of Uwe Boll when Sean Baby enters the fucking ring.
Yeah, he cannot save his game when Sean Baby's there.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I think it would have been truly just that much more entertaining to see Sean Baby show up and just Uwe Boll go, well, I'm not going to do this, actually.
Yeah. He just wants to beat up on guys that are like 50 pounds lighter than him.
Bring me another child.
I need to break him.
Yeah, and I will say that when this happened, it didn't really stick with Lowtax on the forums the way that the Mangosteen did. Like, yeah, off the site, like, when we did the Lowtax episode, I quoted from Penny Arcade making fun of it. Like, yeah, this was kind of made the rounds when it happened. But on the forums, Uwe was so unsympathetic. Like sort of the central, like, failure of this is, like, yeah, even if you beat up your critics, your movies still suck. It doesn't change that. So he was still very much continued to be a punching bag, as we'll see.
Of course, yeah. I mean, he did not become cooler on the internet because he fought a bunch of dorks. You know, didn't work out like that.
Somehow that didn't work out for him. I don't know what they expected.
Yeah. So I guess we can talk sort of about the legacy of the fight. So first on the forums, there was of course some fun little edits and stuff. I love this one. So they edited the Street Fighter 2 sprites. Boll Kyanka with the Kyanka meter all empty.
Just a gif of Street Fighter of Uwe Boll just rocking a very twerpy looking. And what's funny is that the sprite used for Kyanka is like infinitely more muscular than actual Kyanka. You just can't use this kind of intensely contrasted shading without giving somebody a little bit of definition. But yeah, even though this is dramatized, the real life fight was much more brutal.
Well, yeah, because they're using the Balrog sprite for Uwe Boll, and like, okay, Uwe's not that built, like, so it really is just doubly funny because, like, okay, this is not quite right, but it's also, well, it's kind of how it felt.
Yeah, and Lowtax is an edited Dhalsim sprite, so it kind of has a Barkley quality to it, where there's like a very cartoony face drawn on the otherwise very professional sprite that's been sort of color shifted.
Right.
It's just very cute, looks perfectly, yeah. And also over time, people's perception of this changed. Like when his spine fell apart and he had to have the fundraiser, people joke about the fight being responsible for the spine, being like, "Oh, the punches did this." And to the closest thing to a face turner you get in this episode from Uwe, he actually did post about Lowtax's spine fundraiser on his socials and speak in support of it. So at least at the time, that was an ostensibly like cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And then later on, when he kind of like went radio silent, people theorized that, the fight gave him brain damage. That's why he's going away from the forums and acting so weird.
It was benzos and alcoholism.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, the fight didn't help, but.
Yeah. 'Twas benzos killed the beast.
Between the fight and Search being broken, he just couldn't go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also after the abuse allegations, everyone joked that Uwe had been retroactively validated in beating him up. Like, you know, being like, yeah, we wish we could beat him up now. And also just over time, like his excuses for the fight kind of stopped carrying water. Like this quote here is fantastic. A decade later, people reminiscing about it. And so it goes, Lamau, he didn't teach me how to fight is the most beta excuse for losing a fight.
Yeah, that is very funny. Why didn't the guy who wanted to win the fight teach me how to fight? I do have to say, I won the first comedy battle that I was on in Omaha, Nebraska, and it felt so fucking good. And then a year later, I was helping my friend get his first legs in comedy, and he was the guy who beat me at the next show because he asked me for advice, and I just told him all of the things that I did to win the first time, and then he beat me. Clay Staley, very funny guy. I wish him all the best. But I did come in second place, so that counts. But he didn't teach me how to fight is very funny.
Even off of something awful, like people, this is like the closest I'm going to get in real life to like in an RPG when you piece together a side quest from dialogue the townspeople are doing. Like you just go on the Reddit comments and people are like, "What happened to Lowtax? Uwe Boll came back for round 2." Like people are whispering about this.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, very very NPC dialogue here. But yeah, it looks like he's had a shitload of other fights, right?
Well, these aren't him. It's just in general, the concept of online personalities having boxing matches is now just a cottage industry. Like it has its own Wikipedia article, list of influencer boxing matches. There have been 6 tournaments this year so far with more scheduled all across the globe. Like there's some in South America, some in Europe. Like this is just a thing now. Streamers and internet personalities box each other, sometimes for charity, sometimes just for infamy. You know, it's a whole thing.
Well, look, I don't know if we can count like Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I don't know, man. That feels bad. It feels wrong.
I mean,
I know from experience not to get into arguments with Wikipedia editors about what constitutes as notable because I do not have the stamina for that.
No, I just mean Jake Paul. That's all. That's the only reason I brought that up is because Jake Paul, Jesus.
I got what you mean, yeah.
What happened to Uwe?
Yeah, what happened to Uwe? So in 2008, a petition was launched for Uwe Boll to stop making films. It went viral, as this very scary title screen from the documentary explains. Yeah, and it got over 1 million signatures. Like a lot of people were very happy to tell this guy with the real name, "We think you suck and don't want you to make movies anymore."
That's amazing.
God, yeah. In 2008 was also the last time he got a new video game franchise to play with, Far Cry, because this is back before Ubisoft sort of revitalized it when it was still just like a Half-Life 2 competitor from 5 years ago. So yeah, that's a very like people like speed like jet ski chases and Canadian actors in rooms type movie.
Jesus.
Yeah, I do have to say, this is a very bad movie poster that is like baffling in how bad it is. Because it's just a guy with a gun looking very serious, and there's an explosion in helicopters, and it says Far Cry, right? Very basic. This man's got the most disgusting fingernails I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. It's like Megan Fox level.
Yeah, these are like, it's like if this man was made out of like Super Sculpey, and you forgot to add in fingernails, and you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta submit my Far Cry Super Sculpey statuette. And then you're just like, oh, what do I do? Forgot the fingernails. And so you just take a beetle and pop the wings off and just stick them on, and you're like, good enough.
Well,
yeah, they look like hillbilly teeth.
Yeah, they look like individual, like extra large kernels of corn. They're pretty bad.
Yeah. It is funny. I do have recessed fingernails, actually. You can see, like, even with them longer than this, they still don't go out past the tip of my finger. It really sucks because you're way more likely to get ingrown infections because of when they're deeper like that. So,
yeah, I mean, mine are like that too, but that's because I draw a lot, so I need, like, as much feel as I can, you know?
Makes sense.
I'm just sensitive.
Yeah, like
Ab 11 September.
In Kino.
In Kino. Yeah, like he knows the German word for movies. I think in Norway, the term for movie is bioscoop. So you see like movie posters that are like indie bioscoop.
Oh yeah,
that's
go.
So good. What is it? What language is it that they? It's like Norwegian, where they refer to the microwave as the popti-ping. The popti-ping. Oh, mein Schlampfi and the popti-ping. Yeah.
It's such a great name. I love it. Well, yeah, by this point, his reputation was fully in effect. Like, by this point, people didn't want to work with him really anymore. So he stopped he made sequels to the stuff he already had rights to, but for most part, he went back to making smaller budget independent movies. So after this, like 2009,
his ratings go up.
Yeah, he actually gets better when he gets away from trying to make blockbusters and just sort of makes like smaller independent movies. Yeah, some of them are serious, like Attack on Darfur. Some of them are less, or like Rampage, the one I talked about earlier. Like, yeah, he makes a bunch of movies and they do okay. Like only two, half of these aren't even above a 5 on the IMDb rating score. So that gives you an idea of what the baseline is. But still, like these movies have some fans of them.
Yeah, it's likely just because like Attack on Darfur doesn't have 10 million extremely angry, extremely online fans that are going to review bomb it. So he gets away with it. And it's just less infuriating to watch a bad independent thing than seeing like, well, you know, it's like when the Silent Hill movie was terrible, I was like, well, that's the last time we get anyone to seriously attempt this movie. So that's like, we shot the load. We don't get any chances on this one again. So
now I'm imagining Uwe Boll boxing a bunch of Darfur war orphans because they didn't like his movie.
Well, they don't have hands.
You get enough of them in the ring at the same time, though. I'm sure you'd be all right with it.
Yeah, they're like Powerpuff Girls, you know. They just got the little. Jesus, I already feel bad about that.
His movies start doing as well because partially it's because the DVD market is dying out. So in 2015, he launches Bauhaus, a German fine dining restaurant in Vancouver. And apparently this reviewed and did pretty well because, you know, he's always good as a producer. He just like finds some good cooks and is like, I'm making a restaurant, come cook for me. And they make a decent German restaurant. Although I will thought, Winslow, you'd get a kick out of this, the art on display.
You are right. So it's a very beautiful, very modern restaurant, very like fine place settings and stuff like that. It's very like brutalist, but with like the long, like fluorescent lights and everything. Very
noisy
chunky.
as shit in there, just all hard edges.
Oh God, yeah, super loud. And then on the far concrete wall is this absolutely enormous, probably 10-foot by 6-foot painting that is just some sort of muddy pattern. I can't quite tell what it is.
It's like a Jackson Pollock-esque like splatter.
Okay. And then the giant white letters over it that just says art.
Yep.
Which you know what, man? Go for it. Great. Sure. Does what it says on the tin.
The chefs have left the bell tower.
Yeah.
my brain is like.
I was going to say the photographer's probably wearing the glasses from They Live.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
The summary from the restaurant page was very funny about Bauhaus. Much like his passion for film, Boll is adamant that every Bauhaus guest has a unique and pleasurable culinary experience. So.
All right. All right, man. Sure.
Yep. That's definitely like an older German couple goes there and goes, "Oh, he was in film," and then that's the extent of the conversation that they have. They never ask him about when he punched out a 17-year-old and gave him a concussion.
Yeah, like his entire customer base is the bed and breakfast owners from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, his whole thing is basically his life is like the movie Hostel. But then the rest of his life is like the guys that made the movie Hostel. So that works.
Yeah. And I will say also, this documentary, I got all these things, was filmed in 2018 when the restaurant was doing well. Fortunately, COVID happened, and like a lot of restaurants we have here, it was permanently closed. So Bauhaus is no longer with us.
It had a 4 catch sign. 593 reviews, 4.3 stars. That's
not bad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This got good reviews. It was a good restaurant.
Yeah, but then again, like he just like owned it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he was like, I'm tired of making movies, and he's like, I have enough. He was like, I have enough money to live off of. I'm going to do something else now. So he did the restaurant. And that was what he did there.
Well, it's a bummer that it didn't work, but looked
also
interesting.
The website is still up, but now the blog is all like online casino spam. So
that
seems about right.
Yeah. And then by sheer coincidence, he got back into movie making a few years ago, and the restaurant closed. So now he's making stuff like he took a break of about 6 years between Rampage, President Down, and Hanau, Deutschland im Winter Part 1. He never made a Part 2.
All right.
Fucking awesome. But now he's still dropping shit. First Shift and Banditos, Ein Leben zwischen Freiheit und ... were both released in 2024, so he's still banging around.
Yeah. And then also in 2024, he tried to crowdfund a new movie with his podcast co-host. And here's the video of him. He tried to crowdfund a sequel to Postal 2. I have a quote from him. He goes, "Currently, we are living in a world where people desperately need to laugh, but the political correctness, algorithm bullshit, woke and cancel culture destroyed all potentially funny content. To do Postal 2 is almost a duty for the freedom of art, speech, and our lives moving forward in general. This campaign represents a rebellion against the big players who want to brainwash us, who try to conform us into happy, agreeable sheep passively in step with their shitty politics."
In this video's...
You know for a fact that this script included at least one diarrhea joke. You know for a fact.
In this video still that you've
at
included,
least one trans panic joke.
In this still that you've included, he does look like Moby. I don't know why.
He looks like Moby, but like maybe the grandfather of the YouTuber Sucker Pinch. I don't know if anybody knows Sucker Pinch.
God damn.
If you don't watch it, Sucker Pinch is amazing.
Yeah, Moby with the umlaut. Yes, Jesus.
Moby, yeah. That's what he calls movies. Moby.
Yeah. So the day this happens, also he's doing crowdfunding on Indiegogo. This is a $2.5 million fundraiser. And the day it launches, so Postal is the game that's made by a developer called Running with Scissors. The day this went live, the president of Running with Scissors, Vince Desi, posted this. "The official position of Running with Scissors is we do not support this fundraising effort. I have no fucking idea who Gary Otto, the project owner, is. Not one of them has contacted us about this effort, and it's a major concern that he clearly states that he has any funds raised for another project. That he could use any funds raised for another project. For the record, I like Uwe, and I look forward to the day that our fans can see a new Postal movie, but not funded like this." And Gary responds, implying that he's his podcast co-host, a business partner. He just made it in his name for some reason that they never explained.
Likely tax reasons, yeah.
He just, yeah, that's so funny. I mean, it's so funny to see somebody fail a Kickstarter smash and grab.
Yeah, and that was part of his pitch. Was if they didn't raise enough money or they couldn't get the rights to Postal, they would just make it call it California Fried Movie and still basically use the same script, just change to not use the license.
Now, if anybody out there is feeling like Gary Otto is a familiar name, yes, he was a guy that worked in Trauma in the early 2000s. He did work on Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger 4. By the way, that's something I was like, that name for some reason rang a bell. I had to look him up, and it does. I was like, what the fuck? He also was an uncredited extra in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in 2002. So just for whatever reason, I was like, I have to look this guy up, and what a dumb thing to do to go from those things to this.
Thanks. Yeah, Trauma is a huge cinema blind spot for me, so I didn't really appreciate that.
That's cool.
Well, I'm excited about the new Trauma. I'm very excited about Peter Dinklage doing Toxic Avenger. That to me is like, yeah, that feels right.
So Jay, tell me how much they raised.
Yeah, so they had a $2.5 million budget. They raised $850 with 16 pledges before they got shut down.
Yeah, dude.
And you can see here he changed it to California Fried Movie, directed by Uwe Boll, to try and skirt it. And then later on the same day updated to canceled, all pledges refunded, we had no choice.
I do like that his German is still rocking hard. Like he's still speaking with grunts, you know.
He's having trouble because that's just one big compound word in German. He has to break it up
for
us.
Yeah, it is. They have one word for that. That's funny.
God, yeah. And then eventually it just closed down. So you can't even see us anymore. I had to go to archive.org because it's just gone now. Yeah. And although he is still finding work. We're not done with him yet. His most recent big announcement, Armie Hammer set for lead role in Uwe Boll's vigilante thriller, The Dark Knight, exclusive. My dog. Somebody already made a movie called The Dark Knight. And famously canceled for allegations and deeply made fun of for having a cannibalism fetish, Armie Hammer. Heir to the Arm & Hammer fortune. Jesus.
So good, man. Fuck. I just don't think that there's like a culture around men getting caught doing really perverted predatory things, and then like they nothing in their life changes. Or like we all know that, but it was pretty amazing to see how thoroughly. Everyone left, right, and center was just like, yeah, this Army Hammer cannibalism thing, it's got to go. We can't have him anymore. The Uwe Boll is like, no. I don't give a fuck what you eat. Just keep it in the kitchen. And then,
so long as it's in the bedroom, I don't care if what you eat is black, white, or purple with polka dots.
Exactly. He brings it through. Oh God, good for him. I would hate to be at the crafty table at this production. I would not trust anything on that fucking table.
Yeah, when they say finger sandwiches,
this,
they gotta be really careful what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy makes a bunch of zombie movies, and he casts a cannibal in the one that isn't about zombies. Go figure. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Although also, it's not called that anymore. Update a couple months later, Uwe Boll decides not to call his movie The Dark Knight after chat with Warner Brothers. Yeah, they were like, yeah, dog, we own that copyright. Our movie is also about a vigilante who fights crime. I
also just like the tone of the headline. Uwe Boll just decides to not call his movie The Dark Knight. I just like the idea that the Warner Brothers talks to them and they're just like, I just don't think it's a really good name. I think that you could probably get a better name. A very casual thing, and definitely not a legal threat from one of the biggest film producing companies in the country.
They talked to us, and we kind of came to this decision, and we were like, okay, all right, you're right. Maybe that's not a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he sounds like, so I'm just throwing out whatever I can do, but.
Like a lot of people we've covered, he's a podcaster now. Like I mentioned, he has a podcast host. He has the Uwe Boll Raw podcast network, active from 2021 to current year with 56 episodes. So, and also I dug it up. He has a 1.8 star rating on Apple with out of 5 reviews. So, wouldn't you know it, our show, I'm from the internet, we have a 4.5 star review average from 31 reviews. So we've metaphorically bested Uwe Boll in the ring. So I don't feel the need to box him. Like, this is a good time to mention, like, Uwe Boll is very approachable. I totally could have had him on this show. Like, when I was talking to one of Lowtax's friends, he was like, I've had Uwe Boll on my thing before. I could totally get him for you. And I was just like, I don't think I want to have this guy on my show.
Yeah.
I don't think he could provide anything he hasn't already said, and I'm good.
That's so funny. Fuck, dude. Jesus. Well, that just goes to show. Please like and subscribe. Drop us a review. Every review that you're giving us, it furthers our dominance over the Uwe Boll podcast network, Uwe Boll the Raw podcast network, which has 1.8 stars. Fuck, that's so good. That's so good to see. Well, shit, this is great, man. What a ride. Do we have any closing thoughts before we walk out of here?
Just as someone who has been familiar with the story for like half my life at this point, it was very fun to note there were so many details I was not aware of, and also just to get these updates on everyone. Like, there's people contain multitudes, and they don't just go away as soon as the first story ends. It's very fun to check in on people.
Yeah, I really want to know more about that 17-year-old, which is not a thing I want you to clip out of this conversation.
Steve, clip that.
Yeah, I did try to check, but I can't really find anything other than reporting on the fight. He probably was just a regular-ass teenager who didn't really go on to make any like newsworthy stuff since then. He's just living his life, and I don't want to scoop him or anything.
That's funny. Well, speaking of scoops, if you like this show, go watch on YouTube Frederick Knudsen with a Knud. SEN. He has a series called Down the Rabbit Hole. We did an episode on Arthmoor Gate, and he just covered it as well from a different angle. And boy, howdy, he makes some amazing stuff. Please give him a subscribe. He's extremely good. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. But as for us, we have the Patreon, $1 a month. Go now, do it. We have the IFTI pod at Twitter, IFTIpod at gmail.com. Throw us a like and review and subscribe and all that shit wherever you want. As for me, you can find me at winslowdomain.com, Winslow Domain on Twitter, and at Calculations on Instagram. You can still get copies of The Restless, my hand-drawn card game, on winslowdomain.com as well. And Jay, where can they find you?
Jaybrandstetter on Blue Sky. My link tree is in the show notes every episode. I have my Discord, and I'm working on the show. I have a channel about the show in my Discord where people I talk about episodes as I'm writing them, and I have little channels for each one as they drop. So if you want to talk about the show with people who listen to it, that's the place you can do it.
Yeah. Jay, Brian, Where can we find you?
Well, Brian, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, you can find me over.
Jason, sorry.
It's all right. Jay is fine. People call me that all the time.
Close enough.
Although I don't like it.
I'm very used to this. Once I was in a class where we had 3 J's, and we had to be like, okay, you can't all be
right.
J.
Well, I'm used to it too. But anyway, Brian.
Anyways, kids.
You can find me over on ye old Twitter at iShotGuidibor, ISHOTGUIDBORD. You can also find me on Blue Sky under the same handle. Also on Instagram at a music photographer. You can also check out my portfolio of photos of people with their mouths open over at assholemusicphotographer.com. And finally, you can check out the last and only good media website left in the screwy St. Louis over at theartsstl.com. Jason, take us home.
My name's Jason. We are 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking. You can find us 48minutesdogsbarking.com. The number 4, the number 8, minutesdogsbarking.com. Give us a call, 314-246-9766. Support the Patreon, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. You can also find me as part of a podcast called Submitted for the Approval of the Midnight Pals. There I play horror icon Stephen King. That is midnight-pals.simplecast.com or search Midnight Pals anywhere podcasts are sold. Jay, Winslow, Brian, thank you all for hanging out with us. It's a good show.
Yeah, and also before y'all close out, I do want to shout out Brian's portfolio site, because if you're not into music photography, he also did some really striking photography of the Ferguson protest. So just a really cool time capsule of that era. And yeah, it's totally worth a check. You're a good photographer. And I'm not very familiar with music stuff, so that's a fun part of your podcast, is like getting to learn about music scenes and stuff that I'm not familiar with. So yeah,
it's usually just me being crabby, but I try to talk about stuff.
Oh yeah, who would listen to a podcast where the host just complain about stuff all the time? We never do that.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much for the kind words. That means a lot.
Yeah.
You were like one of the first places I ever guested on. That meant a lot to me back then. So I'm glad I finally got to have you on here.
Oh, we appreciate you too, man.
The pleasure's all ours.
Well, this has been good. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you next week with something awful from the internet. This is I'm From the Internet.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Eat the knife.
I'm From the Internet is created by Jaybrandstetter and Winslow Domain. Edited by Steve Brown. Music by Steve Is Broke.
Yeah, I really want to know more about that 17-year-old.